today I thought I would do a very quick tutorial on how to create a paper rosette. And I have a few examples here of what they look like, and as you can see there's a variety of sizes. You can make different variation on the size of the fold as well, so it really is up to you what you want to do, but I wanted to show you guys the principle and how you put it together, and then you can go ahead and just create yours however you want. So I have two strips of paper here. They're both 12 inches long, and this one is actually a 2 inches wide, and this one is a 1.5. So I'll first show you the 1.5. And what you can do, I actually have a Martha Stewart scoreboard, but if you don't, you can still use a ruler and do this in the same way. And there's two options really. So you would do every 1/4 inch, you would do a fold, and you can also fold at every 3/8 inch, and I have done that also, and it actually works pretty nicely. So some of these flowers here, like this one, is every 3/8, and then this one is actually every 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll do the standard one, the traditional one, which is a 1/4. So you then score on every 1/4. And if you're using a scoreboard, it's easier because you can see the marks here, so you don't even have to count or mark ticks or anything like that on your paper. But if you're doing it with a ruler, it may take a little bit longer for you to do it, but I have actually used the ruler before to make one of these when I didn't have a scoreboard, and it works just the same. Okay, so now you should have something that looks a bit like this. And I'm just going to jump into the second one, because the second one, before I score, I'm going to be using this Fisker sponge here. And if you have a slightly different one, you can use it also, but I think they work pretty nicely with the scallop ones. So I'm just going to punch this on the edge of my paper, and as I said, this one is the 2 inch in width. So I'm just going to line this up and quickly punch this. The folding or the scoring is going to be a little bit different. So what I want to do is I want to score in between each scallop. And using a board like this actually makes it easier also, because I can actually move this along until I am in the center of the scallop. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I would move this along and then mark the center and then score. And the only important thing here is to keep the scalloped edge aligned to the top. So as long as you keep that aligned, you can move this side to side, and it doesn't matter, your line is going to be straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And again, you're not going to do any specific measurement, you're just going to score in between each of the scallops here. Okay, so just go ahead and do that, and you may have to move it before you score each time, because of course the measurement of the punch doesn't match up with this exactly, but that's fine, because like I said, as long as you move the paper and you align it to the top, you should have a pretty perfect line. Some people actually just glue these two things together like this, but I don't know, I just find that it makes it a bit thicker. So what I like to do is I just trim one of the sides like so, and now if I add a little bit of glue here and I add this to the underneath of the opposite side, this is going to join in perfectly. So that's what you want to do. You just want a seamless joint here. So I just add a little bit of glue here. And I like to work with hot glue gun for this, because this dries fast and it's actually a very good bond for the paper, so the paper is not going to come apart. So that's why I like the hot glue. Okay, I'm just going to do this on this paper here because that's just going to be easier here. So what you want to do is you want to gather this center part here and push it down. And so as you can see here, the flower is already kind of forming. So what you're going to want to do here is you just add a little bit of glue here right in the center. Okay, and I don't like to skimp, so I put quite a bit of glue there. And then I'm going to push this towards the center, all edges like this. Okay, and now I just want to hold this in place until the glue has cooled down and set. And because I added quite a bit of glue there, it might take a little bit longer. So I'm just going to hold this together until that happens. When you feel like you can let go and the flower is not coming undone, that's fine. Just leave it there for a little bit. And if you're impatient like me, don't be. Try and resist and leave it there for a couple of minutes at least so that it really completely sets. While that's setting, I'm actually going to go ahead and make the other one. So I'm just using the same principle here, folding in and out, in and out. Could actually trim this paper a little bit thinner. You could do a 1-inch flower, or you could do larger like you've seen here. I have made some large ones. I think this is a 2.5 inches. Let me just measure here. No, this is a 2 inches actually. This is a 2-inch before I did the punch here on the border. Okay, so here, as you can see, because I've done the scallop, even though it was a 12 inches as well, and I had to do the scoring a little bit apart because I did it in between the scallop edges, it actually matches perfectly. So I don't need to trim anything in this case right here. So that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and join this end to the other end, like so. Okay, now, of course, you want this part here to be the outside. So what you want to do, you just put that down. And now you just push this together once again like we've done before. And I don't know if you guys can see, but the hole here is a lot smaller than the one I had there. So I can't easily add the glue here. Well, I could squeeze some in, but that's a little bit more difficult. So what I like to do is I kind of eyeball. Okay, so this is what I do. I just add some glue right to the center there. And then I push this in, and as I'm pushing it in, I can see the glue for the hole. And I just push it into the glue, like so. And I also like to add a little bit here in the center. Oops. Okay, went right in. And now I'm just going to push this together, and I'm also going to hold this together until it sets. So here we go again. And now this one is probably ready to be pulled out, and all you have to do is you just peel it off the backing sheet like that, and you can see the glue there. Okay, and your flower is done. So as I said, you don't have to have one of these craft mats. You can use something like this, something that we use for cooking, because it's heat proof, then you'll be fine. So here you go, this one might be done by now. So we'll just pull it off. And if it is a little bit tough to come off, it might be because the glue is not completely set, like it was the case here. So ideally you want to leave it a little bit longer, but anyway, that's the flowers right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As always, just comment below and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!